Welcome back to Dan's Messy Garage. This is going to be day 2 of putting a 289 and a C4 into a 73 Comet. Today I'm going to try to get the engine to sit on the engine test stand. I know there's going to be an issue with the bell housing, because this bell housing is for a FE engine, and I need to take a C4 bell housing, which I have down there on the floor, and mount it on the stand where this one is. The stand does have adjustable motor mount posts, and I'm going to probably need to move those to get it to work with the 289 engine. I'm getting ready to put on this block plate. Goes right on there like that. There's a flex plate and this retaining ring thing here. Bolt pattern is not even, so this will only go on one way because it has a balance weight, and that needs to be in the correct position. The bolts that go through here go into the engine, and if you don't put sealant on those bolt threads, oil will leak through threads. So I'm going to seal up the bolts, bolt this on. UPS dropped off some parts today from NPD, National Parts Depot. I got those flex plates bolts torqued to 80 foot-pounds. Parts that came was the oil dipstick tube. It's going to go in here. Got the little bypass hose, runs from the intake to the water pump right up in there. Got a extender, but it's for the oil pressure sender. See, right now it has an oil pressure sender that probably goes to a light on the dash, an oil light. This extends that out where you can get to it easy. Put the existing sender in here, and this port here runs up to the gauge, because he's got some gauges, water, volts, and oil pressure. And the extender is going to make it possible to have an idiot light for the oil pressure and the gauge all at the same time. So now I got to get busy putting the oil dipstick tube in there. That's kind of a press fit. You're not going to be able to see much, but it just slides in there and it's held on with one bolt up here. The dipstick tube fit in just fine. I got that at least dropped down to the mounts. Looks like I got enough room to the bell housing in there. Slid that up in there and it fit, so let me bolt that up. Then I need to figure out what I'm going to do back here to hold that. What I'll do is tighten the bell housing up, measure that gap, and then go from there. The starter holes are too far toward the center. That means I gotta take the flywheel off that I just put on. Take this plate off. That's what I get for not checking to see if it fit the trans or not. Got the bolts out. Flex plate's off. Let's take this block plate over and see if I can show you the exact problem. These starter holes don't line up. So the problem is this plate is from a 157 tooth flex plate, and it needs the plate from a 164 tooth. There's also a cover that goes on the bottom. Let me see if that's going to fit. The hole spacing where this thing mounts is different. So that plate's not going to work. Let me come up with a solution here. I went to NPD, got a H pipe. It's for a 71 to 73 Mustang with a 302. I can make it fit. It should fit one side, the passenger side. Driver's side, the angle's going to be a little different. So I'm going to have to cut the pipe and rotate that bend to get it to line up with the engine. I also picked up a fuel line that runs from the fuel pump to the carburetor. Trying to do this one-handed here. Now you get the idea. It's going to run from that fuel pump up on this side of the distributor and kind of point toward the carburetor. Placed an order for that block plate and inspection cover to fit that bell housing. Unfortunately, that's not going to be here till next week sometime. I put the tape on there because I might have to shorten that some more, and that'll give me a place to mark it, plus a place to cut parallel to the first cut. Now I have to test fit it. They're cutting trees down outside, and there's a wood chipper not far from my garage, so I might have to turn this video off soon. All I can really do now is get this close, just so I can start the engine, and when I go to put it in the car, I'll probably have to cut this again and get the angles right to fit under the car. But this is just to, like I said, start this engine up. And for startup, since I don't care where it's pointed back here, I can probably just weld that there. Just got to granulate on this side of the pipe so it matches that angle, and then index it, weld it. You can see the pipe is sticking up at some weird angles back there. But like I said, that's not going to matter for starting it on the stand. it'll all be fitted in the car right here. And one of the easy ways to kind of do that is you get a sleeve that'll go over the outside of both of these. And even if you cut it a little short, the sleeve will take up. There goes the wood chipper. I can't talk anymore. I gotta get to work. With all that noise out there, I'm not going to be able to do too much more today. But what I'm doing, I got a dial indicator pointing to the pipe where it's in correct position on the manifold. And I have a piece of wire here pointing to the other part of the pipe, 180 degrees from that. Then I'm going to take this pipe, twist it out of the way, move this one up until it touches that dial indicator, and I can mark it, and then put a mark on the bottom of the pipe where that wire is, and cut that. That should give me something that fits together, plus has a good angle under the car. I'm just trying to minimize the fitment problem I'm going to have later. And since I need to cut that anyways, because I can't just weld it like I thought I could, I gotta come up with something close. All right, I have that cut. I put a piece of pipe over here as a sleeve. I think I'm just going to either put muffler clamps on there for now, or just run a screw in it. 2 screws, one each end, just to hold it in position for when it's running on the test stand. And so today, put 4.5 hours into the project, plus a trip to NPD to get parts. Going to bring us to the end of day 2 in Dan's Messy Garage, putting a 289 and a 73 Comet. Please stay tuned to my channel for future episodes, projects, and videos. Bye.